La nueva temporada de Rick y Morty está a la vuelta de la esquina, se estrena este 5 de septiembre en HBO Max y tuve la oportunidad de entrevistar a Scott Marder y a James Siciliano, quienes son productores y escritores de Rick y Morty. En esta entrevista verán cómo es el detrás de cámaras, en sí, cuál es el proceso creativo para desechar y tomar ideas en un nuevo episodio de Rick y Morty. Sin más que agregar, disfruten la entrevista. Thank you so much for this interview. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, James. I'm so excited to talk with you guys. Writing and producing one of the most influential TV shows of all time is such a big deal. For my first question, I would like to know, what do you think is the core, the factors, and the ingredients in the success of Rick and Morty in all these years?
I think it's two things. I feel like Rick and Morty themselves are just like an iconic pairing that are so fun to write for, and that they're just kind of like wildfire. You throw them into any story and it just sort of starts running. But like certainly story is probably the big dog. You know, Harmon's story circle and just the way he tackles story just makes this show really unique and jam-packed and special, and the care and the love that we give to that, I think, is what you guys feel week to week. I mean, because we work our butts off to give you guys the best absolute stories we can.
And I would just throw in, like, on top of that, which I agree, the story is just that we really nurture them, but like, you know, the characters really, like, that's what it is. Especially like Rick is such a complex, fucked up character. Like, he's got his demons, he's an alcoholic, he is imperfect, and I think that everybody relates to that because everybody is fucked up in their own way. And at the core of that, he still chooses to be with with a family, and I think that speaks volumes. You know, that this show is about family, and it's the combo of that emotional grounding with the crazy story structure and pacing. You know, I think it's something that me and Scott both came into this show different times as fans of it, so we connected, and I think you've got fans that are writing it, you know, like we you know, and I think that's a huge part of it.
Talking about the structure, season 5 ended with a huge and brutal cliffhanger that left expectations very high. Now that season 6 is just around the corner, what was your biggest goal developing these new episodes?
We certainly wanted to live up to a finale that we were really proud of, that felt like it really gave people like canon and then some. So we felt like we wanted to give them stuff that felt like it answered some of those questions, but at the same time opened up new doors and presented some new avenues that you guys might not have originally been expecting. And we feel like we found something in that premiere that did it all. That'll get people excited on the evil Morty side, and get people excited on just new fronts as well.
Yeah, I think this season, we can't talk about specific story, but like I think it has a really nice mix of both like crazy high concept sci-fi stuff and like that fun mix of dumb stuff too, and the family really gets a chance to shine in this upcoming season. So I think people are going to be happy with, you know, we're super excited about these episodes, so it's a fun run of 10.
Aside from this huge plot twist, what do you think is the most noticeable change that the show has made in the recent years compared to the first season?
Well, I mean, I think it's still the same show. I mean, but I do think we are, over the last season, you know, we are currently writing season 8. So season 7 is in production and season 6 is about to come out. We've been really trying to both work with the threads that are there, write new ones, create new ones, and also look forward and look back. Like, I think the thing you'll see in 6, and it's been there obviously, but we are aware of the episodes that are coming before and after, even if they're more one-off episodes. I wouldn't call it serialized, but I certainly would say that there are elements of that serialization that play a part in just the fabric of it. It certainly is still going to have one-off episodes
Yeah, a little bit more care with the interconnectivity, just to feel like we're looking at each season on a whole to try to make sure everyone's getting a little bit of everything that they want.
Amidst all the chaos that Rick and Morty symbolizes, what is the creative process that goes through all the staff when it comes to choosing and discarding ideas from episodes?
It's also chaos. I mean, it's a ton of work. I mean, every episode runs a marathon, like really truly runs a marathon from its like inception to like, it needs to be a strong enough idea and have like a deep enough emotional core to make it through that marathon. If it's something that's like a fun flight of fancy, but it doesn't have something like meaty enough in the middle, it won't win the race. It'll peter out and get put back on a shelf till we can find something to beef it up again. And like we play that game with all of them, and it's really intensive because we want to make the 10 best episodes we can.
Yeah, every season has episodes that die, you know, that even make it decently far into the pipeline of writing outlines, like, you know, not just the beat sheet. Like beat sheets, we do so many of like, this could be an episode, and then it's not, or it is, and you know, and then you get to take it to the next step and it changes. It really is a marathon, and then when you think you're done, you're not, and we write it again.
Yeah, the finish line always moves.
So it's tough, and the answer is we just keep pitching, rebreaking until things feel satisfying for the, you know, like I said, we're fans, so we want to make satisfying episodes to us. So.
Just for a final question, what is the craziest and most risky thing that you have thought about doing with the series in the near or distant future? I know that you were right now writing the 8th season of the series, but what is the most extreme thing that you would like to do with all these transmedia that is Rick and Morty?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. First of all, we can't say if it was an actual idea, but you know, look, we always are trying to make ourselves laugh, and we're always trying to push the boundary of our show, and in both, you know, in both the visual style too. I mean, like, you know, there's some stuff coming up that I'm super proud of us for just like taking swings at different things. But as far as like what's the wildest thing, I don't even know. I mean, everything until it's not.
I'll say what I love about this show is there's so many times where like just the most outrageous idea just gets looked at as a room bit and it never makes it to air. And in this case, some of the craziest stuff, like Harmon loves it when he feels like your TV is broken, like, or we've jumped the shark. Like he's always looking to jump the shark and make it feel like your TV is broken. So like we're all attracted to the crazy ones. Yeah. So I feel like there's loads in store for you guys coming down the line. That's what I love most about this show. It's like we chase the crazy ones.
Yeah, like when I wrote Space Snakes and we wrote the sequence where they're not talking and they're just hissing, I was like, this is never gonna make it to air, and then it did, and it's like my favorite part of the episode.
And there were stretches of that they played with how long. I mean, the length of time in which it was just hissing, like expanded and contracted. Like that, I love that part of that episode.
Yeah.
Y esto fue todo por mi parte. Yo soy Chucho Calderón y nos vemos en el siguiente video aquí en la Zona Cero. Los dejo y les recuerdo que pueden seguirme en mis redes sociales @LZCoficial en Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch y TikTok. También pueden estar en el Discord oficial de LZC, unirse a los miembros del canal y también activar la campanita para que vean todos estos videazos. Nos vemos en el siguiente video. ¡Chao!